Hi guys, welcome to Mike Reviews, and there's a reason I'm on the Yelp site here. I want to start doing this Yelp read thing because I think some of these reviews are some of the funniest things in the world. This is a hotel that's by us on Aurora in Seattle. It's the Days Inn Seattle, north of downtown. You can look this up. These reviews were so shocking. I'm actually going to use the reviews that have the person's name in them just because I just feel like this person has been proven a horrendous individual by so many reviews. Here's Bill D. from La Quinta, California. I have one word for this place. Dump. Wouldn't let my dog stay here. Anything over a 1-star rating has to be a staff member. Rachel R. from Virginia Beach, Virginia is one of my favorite, though. Run away. Do not stay here. Let's start with saying I travel a lot for business and for pleasure, and this was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. Randy is the day manager and should absolutely be terminated. Randy will be a reoccurring theme in these reviews. Upon our arrival, he was already visibly irritated, and we felt uncomfortable. He had just snapped at the people in front of us. Now it was our turn. He asked for our reservation. We gave him our card and he threw it back at us and said we couldn't use a debit card when it clearly said posted online as well as in the lobby. We asked if we could use another card and he began yelling at us, asking us if we knew how to read, saying we no longer had a reservation and we were now trespassing and how he was calling the police. Began describing us and asking our names, got in our faces yelling at us to get out of the lobby, where he then locked us out. Worst experience I've ever had. They overbook and find any excuse to argue with and get you to walk out. I'm contacting corporate in hopes they will handle things, but I will never stay at a Days Inn again. So I read this first review and I think, you know, there's some psychos on Yelp. Maybe Rachel's just one of these people that just doesn't like anybody. So I continue to go on. Let's read April from New Jersey. April from Warren, New Jersey. Worst customer service ever experienced. Now, this girl sounds a little condescending, I will say. She says, I'm a girl, and I, like most girls, get profiled. I profile the other girls a lot in a very criticizing fashion. So when I went to check in, these two young girls chose not to like me for some reason as part of their profile. Not quite sure what that means. And just speaking socially and being truthful, if you're a girl on the prettier side, many other girls in life will give you a hard time. Already knew I was going to have an attitude from the two girls when entering the door and not even reaching the front desk. The shorter, plumper girl was already barking at me in a tone. I'll need a valid credit card and ID. Now I travel extensively for my work, which is music production, home-based in New Jersey where I live. Now I think along the lines of every other traveler which knows they need to show their ID. I think even homeless people know this too. It was obvious for some reason that she chose not to like me because of the way she spoke to me initially upon entering. April may have a little bit of a complex, but she then made difficult and rude conversation with me intentionally so she could refuse the right to service, as any hotel most business can. If for any reason, whether proven or not, an employee still most times has the power to refuse the right of service and ask a potential customer or guest to leave before the police are called. She then promptly scribbled her name on the back of a manager's business card, telling me to go ahead and call him, if you like, as it happens regularly, and it's some sort of a power trip game for her. Reading these reviews, it seems to be a power trip for all of these employees. Let's go to Dylan from New York. Absolutely horrible service. Here's our friend Randy again. Randy, the manager, was extremely rude to the point where my family considered legal action. He made disparaging and racist comments about a family member. He had to call corporate several times to get a refund, and they insisted we talk to Randy. Yet Randy refused to speak to corporate as well. I can't say enough about how absolutely terrible this place is and how much I would never recommend that anyone I like or dislike stay here. An absolutely horrible experience with horrible customer service. I would only stay here as a last resort. Next, Wilma A. from Township, Michigan, it looks like. If I could give this place 0 stars, I would. I wish I would have read the other reviews prior to booking. Yeah, I would I would wish that too, it sounds like. Here's our friend Randy again. Honest Jay from Austin, Texas. Fire Randy. So disappointed in Days Inn for having a terrible employee. Randy is rude and disrespectful. Avoid this hotel at all cost. I'm looking to have audio recording of his aggressiveness and rudeness. Hopefully this helps to cancel my reservation. Geoff from Los Altos, California. Here comes Randy again. Horrible person at the front desk. His name is Randy. I've never had such a terrible interaction with any hotel before. Do not come here. Save yourself for the pain of dealing with him. Another 1 star from Richard V. from El Paso, Texas. Never been treated any worse by a hotel. Was treated beyond rude again by our friend Randy at the front desk. He went into a rant when I was asked why I was being charged for more than my reserve price. Screaming and ranting. Couldn't believe my ears. I called corporate to complain and pretty much got the brush off. Then I saw Randy, the employee at the front desk, go outside of the office and push a young man down to the ground for doing nothing more than waiting at the bus stop in front of the hotel. So Richard's saying not only is Randy rude to the people at the desk, he's out assaulting people at the bus stop. Somebody look into this Randy guy. He called the police on Randy, and I went to testify to police what I had observed. After the young man decided not to press charges, I went back to my room. My phone rings in my room, and it was corporate manager asking me to check out. After I agreed to leave, the corporate manager then tells me I have 10 minutes to evacuate my room. Never been treated more rudely from front desk all the way up to corporate. Robert, from here in Seattle. Randy is someone the Days Inn or any hotel should never employ. I've never, ever been treated so poorly. Extremely rude. Tried to file a complaint, but it seemed like customer service didn't seem to care. Never will. I stay at a Days Inn. I would like to meet this Randy guy and see just what a horrible person he is. I've never seen reviews like this. Here's another one. John B. from Austin, Texas. An absolute atrocious experience with the unfriendly day and night staff as well as the booking through Priceline.com. If you were to book a room, which I would not recommend at all, do so directly with the hotel. The staff charges a $30 upgrade fee for additional beds, even if you have booked a multiple bed room. They conveniently do not have any access to the Priceline booking also. Disdainful is how I would describe every hotel employee. Never have I felt so unwelcome to stay in a hotel that I have essentially had to pay twice. Please look elsewhere for a budget hotel. And then Rosie Marie from Seattle explains to us why we can't do anything about Mr. Randy. His property is a franchise. Corporate office cannot address any concerns or problems, but they will forward complaints to owner and GM, which is apparently Randy. I have stayed at this property several times without issue. Randy is very engaging and confident. Across from the office is another building which has additional rooms. And this starts out good, and then I wonder why she gives him 1 star. Because she keeps staying there. It says, I always request room 226. I would not recommend leaving valuables in your vehicle. Area is rough. There must be a really cheap hotel that she gave it a 1 star, but she keeps staying there. She has a permanent room. There are a couple of fast food eateries close by as well as Chinese sit-down. During our recent stay, I noticed there was a terrible smell in the room. I reported the PM manager who directed me to the AM manager for a discount. The AM manager then told me he could not approve a discount and recommended I contact their corporate office, which I did. The room stinks, Rosemary. Find a better hotel. Both AM managers told me odor due to recent rain, and this is a common problem no matter what room I move to. Then I contacted the corporate office. I was told they could not help me because property is a franchise, but would forward my complaint to the owner and GM. I shared this information with Randy, the AM manager. Based on my earlier corporate conversation with corporate, I thought it was important at this point to also inform them, as well as Randy, the sink in the bathroom had a small nick, which was based on how smooth the surface was. Not sure what they were trying to say there. Randy told me he would send maintenance. Maintenance never showed. I told him the blood was not affecting the functionality of the sink, but I wanted to report anyway. Today I had trouble connecting to the internet. When I contacted Randy to report, I noticed his demeanor had changed. He insisted there was nothing wrong and told me to continue to try, even though my computer showed no internet connection. Not Randy. I had just paid for another day when I received a call from Randy. He told me if I did not leave in 15 minutes, he was going to contact the police. He said that he was aware I had contacted corporate regarding my stay, and they had never received so many complaints and could not afford to have their reputation tarnished, and then hung up on me. I had already paid for 5 nights. I was in shock and disbelief. I quickly gathered my belongings and then contacted the Seattle police. They told me no one had contacted them regarding this property. So I'm not sure where the property, the hotel. I also contacted my credit card company, who confirmed my card had been charged but was being reversed. Based on prior complaints, there are many. It appears Randy could use hospitality training. Owner GM needs to review their internet connection and read the complaints posted by paying customers. The review family made about Randy making racial comments is also very concerning. Gee, you don't say. I experienced some same when I shared with Randy I had witnessed someone breaking into a car. He quickly shamed people of color were suspect. Randy has some personal issues and could use some diversity training. I would not recommend this property to anyone. Randy sounds like he's probably in jail by the time I'm reading these reviews. Michelle from Daly City, California. This 1-star goes to the housekeeping and to the room, but the lack of the other 4 stars is due to the lack of customer service, smiles, and outright highway robbery. First of all, we originally made reservations for 3 nights through Priceline. I'm going to skip through this one. Let's look for our fan Randy some more. Oh, this one looks good. Ariel from Wenatchee, Washington. Totally pissed. Items stolen right out of our room, and the only possibility is an employee with a key card. They were unwilling to do anything to help. Don't stay here unless you don't mind people stealing your personal items when you're not there. I see some horrible reviews on Yelp, but when I see this many reviews that are this horrible and all have the same kinds of things in them, you got to think it's the hotel. Johnny C. from Riverside, California. Stay away from this low, cheaply run hotel. We canceled our booking after seeing the area before checking in, and the manager refused to refund our money. He was rude and disrespectful. Gee, I wonder if it was Randy. Please do yourself a favor and stay far away from this place. Days Inn is a terrible company, as their customer service is very unhelpful. Will not think twice about booking here or any other Days Inn hotel again. Consider yourselves warned. Pam from Seattle. Worst customer service ever. They should really be turned into the Better Business Bureau. You can do that, Pam. It's pretty easy. Just go to bbb.com. Reese from Brooklyn, New York. These people are a bunch of crooks. Do not stay here and stay away from Randy at the front desk, who told my boyfriend and I that he was a seasoned agent. Anyone who describes himself as a seasoned agent is probably automatically a douchebag. We booked 6 nights on Priceline, and the Days Inn 1-800 number said it was fine to check in with a debit card. Then when we got there, they would not let us check in, even though we had paid for 6 nights. So I'm reading these reviews. Definitely, if you come here, do not try to check in with a debit card. I have a credit card, but since it wasn't on the official reservation, they would not accept mine for incidentals. After talking to Kathy, we were advised to talk to Randy, and he was absolutely useless. You don't say. Then my boyfriend asked if he could talk to the general manager, and he wouldn't give him their name. Then he stood up and started doing a Wizard of Oz impression to demonstrate how hard it is to get in touch with the general manager. Maybe it's actually Oz. The level of unprofessionalism was astounding. I am so disappointed. They charged me for the whole amount and wouldn't let me stay there. How is this place still in business? 1 star from Naomi in Seattle. Where do I start with the Days Inn? I have been to my fair share of Days Inn, but this one, no words. At first, I thought this Days Inn was nice looking. Check-in was okay, not excellent. We get into our room. It's your normal queen-size bed, refrigerator, microwave, your restroom. Let's skim through this and see if we got anything interesting. Around 11 p.m., On February 7th, I had gone to shower before I headed off to bed and saw a black speck of something on the shower curtain, so I investigate the speck, and it's moving. So I kill it. Now, mind you, this black speck was no bigger than a dot of the letter I. I get into the shower, then notice more black specks along the tub. I know bed bugs, and that's what they were. So now this place has got bed bugs, Randy. You better get this under control. So I know bed bugs. Well, I get out of the shower and get dressed and go to the front desk and explain to the host on duty at the time where I found the bugs and that I had also noticed bites on my forearm. I wonder how Naomi knows bed bugs. But he quickly gets us a new room and continues to say the exterminator will be in to see what kind of bugs they are. So we get all our stuff and go to the new room, and I examine that room as well. All was good until I go turn the refrigerator on high to keep my perishable food cold. Doesn't work. But I'm so exhausted this time I don't really care. Take a shower and go to bed. Next day, a room was far from good. 9th day staying there. Why are you staying for 9 days if this is so horrible? It must be really hard to find a good hotel in Seattle. Was most definitely be our last day here ever. I went to go take a look at the room, and the blinds were open, and room was cleaned by housekeeping. No one is in that room yet. Bedbugs are always a huge thing for people, so I say no to this motel. Gee, couldn't imagine why you wouldn't want bedbugs in your hotel. But Debbie from Meade, Washington, crappy customer service. First, they advertise as being in the U District. They are 30 minutes north. That's quite a ways. When I checked in the room, smelled so bad of perfumed soap that I requested a different room, but they refused because they had no other rooms like mine. No place like home. I was told since I booked on the internet, I could only have a smoking room, but they would not allow an upgrade due to the booking terms. When I complained again the next morning, the desk was not at all apologetic. I can't imagine anybody here being apologetic from what I've read. I spent the night with the window open. Hotel was on Highway 99, so no AC, with AC running full speed just to try to air out the room. Actually tried to sleep in chair with head and window frame for air. It was that strong. Obviously something had spilled on carpet in the room, but they did not care. The smell actually permeated my clothes and hair by morning. I could smell the perfume all day on my clothes. So gross. Wow, so this has got to at least be the worst hotel in the Seattle area. Courtney from Seattle, I completely agree with Steve-O. Only have to add one more thing. The cleanup lady tried to come in uninvited when we were still in the room. And it was a WTF moment. And she kept trying to come in. When we told her, don't come in, we were still in here. No, it was actually two ladies. I don't think they spoke English very well. So the housekeeping is trying to break into their room while they're... who knows what they're doing in there. I don't think they spoke English very well because when I went down to get some ice, they were still standing in front of the door. I thought this place was all right since it was days in and not another crazy-ass hotel in Aurora. But no, I was wrong, very wrong. We were both very upset, pissed off. We were enraged. Shut them down. And you guys can continue. Wow, and this one's about, I'm not going to go through Ram's 1-star here. It's about 2 pages. Connie of Portland. Prostitution, that's interesting. Spend the extra 20 for a decent place in a better not prostitution alley location. So maybe prostitutes come with the room. I don't know. But so that wraps up my review here of the Days Inn on Aurora. Probably the worst reviews I've ever seen for a hotel, and I'm hoping the worst hotel in the Seattle area. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you found that funny and informational.